Alright guys, this is inaccurate. So last night I was watching some anime and it had me thinking about like the whole killing game genre or kind of like battle anime thing going on. And what I mean by this is anime kind of like Mirai Nikki and Jujutsu Kaisen or Killing Bites. You know, it's that genre where it's pretty much there's a person overseeing this whole thing, and pretty much there's a bunch of people who have to kill each other for some prize, which whether it be like money or immortality or power or something like that. There's always a twist at the end. There's a lot of action involved, usually a lot of blood and gore. The characters are usually pretty in-depth, sorta. They contribute a lot to the plot, and it is very plot driven and plot focused. And usually these types of genre I actually really like because they move the story along in such a good pace that it just feels like a good watch, you know? And that kind of brings me to what I watched yesterday, which was an anime called Gleipnir. So this anime, you can kind of argue that it's not really like a killing game type of genre. However, it does fit into all the kind of traits and like the categories that I kind of mentioned beforehand. If I had to compare this anime, it would be very similar to the video game Apex Legends. If you guys don't know, Apex Legends is a very popular video game. It's very good fundamentally at its core, but everything surrounding Apex Legends is just terrible. For example, it is littered with bugs and glitches, you know? There is a lot of input lag, and it feels kind of bad, to be honest. And, you know, there are just constant server issues, you know? They update the game and everything breaks. And basically, this Gleipnir is like Apex Legends. So like one of the problems of Gleipnir is that it has a lot of fan service. Now, a lot of anime has a lot of fan service. This fan service inside Gleipnir is like pointless. And yeah, usually you could say fan service in general is pretty pointless, but this is, I think, to another level. In the beginning, the main guy, you know, saves the main girl from a burning building. And then, you know, for some reason her biddies are out. And then for some reason the guy decides to also take her panties off while she is unconscious. And they never explained why. You know, it's just apparently a very momentous scene that, you know, is supposed to be burned into your mind. But I think the author thought it was gonna be like this grand moment, but it was more just like kind of like it felt more like a scene where he's just straight up assaulting her. Now the fan service throughout this anime goes very far. Like they have like this skin suit fetish. They also show multiple times where she's just naked and you're just like, okay, well, but it's also funny because it's not like really hot. You know, like I've seen some like really kind of like super horny like animes, you know, that actually had that whole kind of like atmosphere going. These the moments with their fan service are very dull. Like, you know, it's just like, oh, she's taking off her clothes. Oh, she's naked now, and you're just like, you know, like you like barely care. One thing about the fan service is that they go really far. Like, they don't pull any punches, you know. It's not just like one panty shot, you know, it's a lot of other stuff. So in that regard, I can kind of respect it because they don't pull back. Another glaring point about this anime are the characters. So the main character also suffers from Shinji syndrome, which is being a complete pussy and having this great power, but he won't use it. And to be honest, he's actually a lot worse than Shinji because he gets really like, whiny and bitchy. Because, you know, like the story, it is still like a killing game genre, so the story is moving at like a pretty fast pace. But you know, all you just see is him just, you know, like being a complete bitch. just, you know, yeah, this is in the beginning. Later on, he changes into like this broken state, or like this broken puppet state. But yeah, it's just so annoying to watch in the beginning. And then there's also the girl, the main girl. Well, I don't like her either. She's basically Asuka. But I would say she's worse than Asuka because she's like a manipulative bitch that's like super domineering. I was just like, I don't like either of these characters. But as I kept watching, I found out that like both of these characters, even though individually they're really awful, they actually fit very well together. The main guy's a complete little bitch. He can't do anything by himself, and he likes to be stepped on. You know, that's why there's that whole skin suit fetish, and, you know, having the girl enter into him and him feeling like And then there's the girl, which is pretty much a manipulative bitch that likes to step on people and likes to control them. And, you know, both of these guys actually work very well together because one is a masochist and the other is a sadist. Another point in this anime that I thought was bad was actually the pacing of the plot. This anime, I felt like it definitely should have been like 22 episodes, or, you know, it's like 13 episodes. Maybe it should have like 2 OVAs, or maybe like 1 movie after the 13 episodes. It felt like the story was moving on at a really quick pace. And I thought it was because of like the anime studio. Usually they would take, you know, a manga that's like 100 volumes and like smash it into like 13 episodes, right? But this was, apparently, while I was reading the comments, like one guy mentions like, oh man, I love the anime. It was so closely adapted to the manga, so I was just like, oh, the manga author did this. Because the pacing was like so fast, they skipped a lot of details. You know, it's like one of the plot points was just like, okay, well, the main girl is going out to go murder her sister, right? But then when she actually confronts her sister reminds her that she was the one who actually wanted their parents dead. You know, she's the one who said she was gonna kill them first. I was just like, wait, you forgot that? And then another plot point is like the whole fan service panty thing. Like, no explanation whatsoever. Guy just decides to take off her panties while she's unconscious. You know, like what? And then a lot of the pacing issues with it was that, like, it definitely could have been like spread out more. Cause like this 13 episode anime had a lot of different arcs in it. You know, like it had the first discovering of the power, and, you know, like meeting up with the main character and all that. And then it had going around exploring to go get coins. And then it had like the whole battle arc thing where, you know, they were facing people one-on-one. And then it was, you know, like facing people one-on-one is not a good thing. So there was another arc for, you know, actually having a team. And then once it had the team, you know, there's another arc for using that team to battle against another team. And then there was another arc for her, you know, confronting, you know, the actual hidden plot within the anime, which was go fight your sister, find out what the mystery is, and find out what their objective is, you know, all that stuff. I like that the story kept moving forward. Like, even though I had so many problems with the story, like, regardless, it would just say, hey, fuck you, you know, we're moving on with the story. And you know what? That's completely fine by me. It was still a good watch. And then that just kind of brings me to like the end, which, despite Gleipnir having these glaring issues, you know, the fan service, the pacing problems, the character problems, the plot issues because of the pacing issues, I still enjoyed it because it was like a killing game genre thing. You know, at the very foundation of Gleipnir, it was still very solid. You know, it was very good, and I still wanted to see how like the whole mystery and like the twist at the end, you know, would unravel. Even though, just spoiler alert, it's a fucking cliffhanger at the very end. So If you're gonna watch this anime, just wait until like a second season, or or like the OVAs, or maybe like a movie comes out, because nobody wants to fucking watch an anime only have a cliffhanger at the end. You know, like what the fuck. Regardless, this anime I think is still very good. But like I said, it's like Apex Legends. Very good at the foundation, but at the top there's just so much bullshit. But yeah. Anyways, that's pretty much what I had to say. I'm out. Bye.